It's finally happening. If this message has found its way to you right now, in this exact moment, it's not by accident. October 26th is approaching, and those who have been walking the narrow path, those who have been tested beyond measure, those who have held on to faith when everything visible screamed that God had forgotten them, you need to hear this. October 26th carries a frequency, a divine signature, a spiritual activation that only the chosen ones will be able to perceive. And on this day, God is going to speak to you through 5 unmistakable signs that will confirm beyond any doubt that your season of waiting is officially over and your season of receiving has begun. These aren't ordinary signs. These aren't the kind of coincidences that skeptics can explain away or that you'll question later when doubt creeps in. These are divine markers, spiritual flags planted by heaven itself to let you know that you are seen, you are heard, and you are about to experience a breakthrough so significant that it will redefine what you thought was possible in your life. The blessing that's coming isn't just an improvement or a slight upgrade. It's life-changing. It's the kind of transformation that makes you look back at where you were and barely recognize that person. It's the kind of shift that causes people who've known you for years to ask what happened to you. But here's what you need to understand. These 5 divine signs on October 26th aren't just confirmations of blessings that might come someday in the distant future. They are the opening movements of the blessing itself. They are the first tangible manifestations of what God has already released in the spiritual realm and is now bringing into your physical reality. When you see these signs, you're not just being told that something good is coming. You're being shown that it has already begun. The train has left the station. The door has swung open. The breakthrough has been activated. And your job is to recognize it, receive it, and prepare for the magnitude of what's about to unfold. Stay with me through this entire message, because I'm going to reveal all 5 divine signs, explain what each one means specifically for your life, and tell you exactly what you need to do when you witness them. And if your spirit is already stirring, if you feel that familiar quickening in your soul that tells you this word is for you, go ahead and type "ready" in the comments right now. That simple declaration is your agreement with heaven that you are prepared to receive what God is about to release into your life. Let me start by explaining what makes October 26th spiritually significant. We're moving through a powerful season of cosmic and spiritual alignment. October began with intense energetic shifts accelerated by the solar eclipse earlier this month that marked the beginning of a new cycle. We've moved through the Libra new moon on October 21st, which opened portals of balance, justice, and manifestation. October 22nd was a day of sacred silence and spiritual consolidation. October 23rd brought the energy of re-emergence and renewed authority. October 24th activated the number 4, foundation, structure, and earthly manifestation. October 25th carried the energy of transition and preparation. And now we arrive at October 26th, which carries the vibrational frequency of the number 8 in spiritual mathematics. When you reduce 26, you get 2 plus 6 divided 8, and 8 is the number of new beginnings, resurrection, and supernatural overflow. It's the number of God's covenant in a new form, of cycles completing and greater cycles beginning, of harvest beyond what was planted. 8 is the number of infinity turned on its side, representing endless possibilities and eternal blessings. Throughout Scripture and across spiritual traditions, 8 represents the moment when promise becomes reality, when the spiritual breakthrough manifests in the natural realm in overwhelming ways. October 26th is that moment for you. It's the day when the spiritual work you've been doing, often invisible, often unacknowledged, often lonely, begins to produce visible fruit in abundance. It's the day when the prayers you've prayed, the tears you've cried, the faith you've maintained, even when it made no logical sense, all of that begins to crystallize into tangible evidence that God was working on your behalf the entire time. You just couldn't see it yet. But on October 26th, the veil becomes thinner. The spiritual becomes visible. The promised becomes actual. And you receive confirmation through these 5 divine signs that everything is about to change. Now, before I reveal what these 5 signs are, I need to prepare your heart and mind to receive them properly. These signs are not loud. They are not flashy. They will not come with skywriting or angelic choirs visible to everyone around you. They are subtle, personal, and specifically calibrated to your unique spiritual frequency. That's why I call them divine signs rather than obvious miracles. Miracles grab everyone's attention. Divine signs speak specifically to those who have been prepared to recognize them. The chosen ones have been trained through their trials to perceive what others miss. You've developed spiritual sensitivity through suffering. You've learned to hear God's voice in the whisper because you had to learn to hear Him when everything else was screaming. You've learned to see His hand moving in the small things because you've experienced seasons when the big, obvious blessings were nowhere to be found. That training, that refining, that sensitization of your spiritual senses, it's all been preparation for moments like October 26th, when God speaks to you in ways that are unmistakable to you, but invisible to those who haven't walked your path. So, when these signs appear, some people around you won't see them. They'll call them coincidences. They'll rationalize them away. They'll tell you you're reading too much into things, but you'll know. Something in your spirit will recognize the touch of the divine. Something in your soul will confirm that this is more than random chance. And when you have that knowing, that inner witness, don't let anyone talk you out of it. Don't let skepticism, whether from others or from your own mind, steal the confirmation that heaven is giving you. Each of these 5 signs is a piece of a larger message. Think of them like words in a sentence. You might see one sign and receive part of the message. You might see 3 signs and get a clearer picture. You might see all 5 signs and receive the complete communication that God wants you to have. Don't compare your experience with others. Don't think that seeing fewer signs means you're less chosen or less blessed. Each person's journey is unique. Each person's signs are customized for their specific calling and season. What matters is not the quantity of signs you see, but the quality of your response to what you do see. When you recognize a divine sign, your response should be immediate gratitude and acknowledgement. Don't wait to thank God until you fully understand what it means. Don't wait until the full blessing manifests before you express faith. The moment you recognize His fingerprint on a situation, on an encounter, on a thought, on a coincidence that's too precise to be random, in that moment, you acknowledge it. You say out loud, "I see you, God. I recognize your hand in this. I receive this as confirmation that you are moving in my life. I thank you for speaking to me. I trust what you're showing me." That verbal acknowledgement, that spoken gratitude, it's not just good spiritual practice. It's actually a form of spiritual activation. When you acknowledge God's signs, you're telling the universe, "Yes, I'm paying attention. Yes, I'm ready. Yes, send more." And heaven responds to that readiness. Now let's dive into the 5 divine signs. I'm going to explain each one carefully, describe what it looks like, reveal what it means spiritually, and give you practical guidance on how to respond when you experience it. The first divine sign you might experience on October 26th is a noticeable, unexplained change in how a specific person treats you. This isn't about everyone suddenly being nice to you or the whole world shifting. This is about one particular person, someone significant in your life, someone whose opinion or behavior has affected you, someone who has been cold, critical, distant, indifferent, or even hostile. And on October 26th, something in them changes. This change will be striking because there's no obvious reason for it. You haven't done anything different. You haven't had a conversation that explained things. You haven't changed your behavior toward them, and yet suddenly they're different. Maybe it's a family member who has been judgmental, suddenly showing you warmth and acceptance. Maybe it's a boss or authority figure who has been harsh, suddenly acknowledging your value. Maybe it's a friend who pulled away, suddenly reaching out with genuine care. Maybe it's someone who owes you an apology, suddenly offering it without you asking. Maybe it's even someone who has been working against you, suddenly showing respect or backing off entirely. The key characteristic of this sign is timing and unexpectedness. This shift happens on or immediately around October 26th, and it catches you off guard because nothing in your recent interactions with this person would have predicted it. That's how you know it's not just a mood swing or a random kindness. That's how you know it's a divine sign. Here's what this sign means spiritually. God is rearranging relationships in your favor. He's softening hearts that have been hardened against you. He's removing scales from eyes that haven't been able to see your true value. He's breaking assignments of negativity and criticism that have been directed at you. This shift in one person's treatment of you is a preview of a larger movement. It's God saying, I'm about to give you favor in every relationship that matters. I'm about to shift how people perceive you. I'm about to open doors through human connections that you couldn't open yourself. This one person changing is your sign that I'm orchestrating favor for you on a massive scale. When you experience this sign, here's what you need to do. First, receive it with grace and humility. Don't interrogate the person about why they're suddenly being different. Don't be suspicious or rejecting of their changed behavior. Just receive it as you would receive any gift, with thankfulness. Second, immediately thank God for moving in that person's heart. Acknowledge out loud that you recognize this as a divine sign. Say something like, God, I see what you just did. I recognize your hand moving in this relationship. I receive this as confirmation that you're giving me favor with people. I thank you for softening hearts toward me. I trust that this is just the beginning of the relational breakthroughs you're bringing into my life. Third, watch for a pattern. If this sign appears on October 26th, pay attention in the days and weeks that follow. You might notice other people's attitudes shifting as well. You might find that doors open through relationships that have been closed. You might discover that people who can help you suddenly want to help you. This first sign is often the opening movement of a wave of favor that continues building. The second divine sign you might experience on October 26th is the sudden appearance of money, resources, or material provision from a source you didn't anticipate. This isn't your regular paycheck or expected income. This is something extra, something unexpected, something that shows up in a way that surprises you. This could manifest in many forms. You might receive a check you forgot was coming. You might get a refund you didn't know you were owed. You might find money, literally discover it in a pocket to draw, a bag you haven't used in a while, or even on the ground. Someone might pay back a debt you'd written off as lost. You might receive an unexpected gift of money from someone who felt moved to bless you. You might get a discount or rebate that saves you significant money. Something you needed might be given to you for free when you expected to pay for it. An opportunity might present itself that provides income you weren't planning on. The specific form doesn't matter. What matters is the unexpectedness, the timing, and the feeling you get when it happens. That sense of this is provision, this is more than luck. This is divine. The amount is less important than the source and timing. It could be a small amount like finding a $20 bill, or it could be a significant amount like an unexpected check for hundreds or thousands. Don't dismiss small amounts as insignificant. God often tests whether you'll be faithful with little before he trusts you with much. If you can recognize his provision in $20 and thank him for it, you're demonstrating that you'll recognize and honor his provision when it comes in $20,000. Here's what this sign means spiritually. God is showing you that He is your source, not your job, not your bank account, not any person, not any system. He's demonstrating that He can provide for you through channels you never saw coming, through methods that bypass all the conventional routes. This unexpected provision on October 26th is a prophetic sign. It's God saying, if I can provide for you out of nowhere, if I can send money to you through unexpected channels, then you need to understand that lack is not your destiny. Limitation is not your reality. I have 1,000 ways to get resources to you that you haven't even imagined. This unexpected money right now is a preview. It's a taste. It's me showing you that a financial breakthrough is coming that will exceed what you've been praying for. When you experience this sign, your response is critical. Don't just take the money and move on with your day as if nothing happened. Stop, acknowledge it. Thank God out loud. Hold that money in your hand if it's physical, or look at that notification if it's digital and say, God, I recognize this as a sign from you. I receive this as seed and as confirmation. I thank you for this provision. I declare that this is not random. This is you showing me that you are my provider. I trust that this unexpected blessing is a preview of the financial breakthrough that's coming into my life. Oh, I receive this with gratitude and expectation. Then, and this is important, be a good steward of it. If it's seed money, consider sowing some of it back into the kingdom. If it's provision for a need, use it for that need with thanksgiving. Don't waste divine provision on frivolous things. Honor the source by honoring how you use what He sends. Your stewardship of small, unexpected blessings determines whether God can trust you with larger ones. The third divine sign you might experience on October 26th is sudden clarity or revelation about a problem that has had you completely stumped. This is about an issue you've been wrestling with, maybe for days, maybe for weeks, maybe for months or even years. You've tried every approach you could think of. You've asked people for advice and gotten nowhere. You've prayed about it repeatedly. You've lost sleep over it, and nothing has worked. The problem remains. You remain stuck. But on October 26th, something shifts. Out of nowhere, the answer comes. It might arrive as a sudden thought, while you're doing something completely unrelated, taking a shower, driving, cooking, or just sitting quietly. It might come through something someone says casually in conversation, a phrase that triggers the solution in your mind. It might come through something you read, watch, or hear that suddenly connects dots you couldn't connect before. It might come in a dream the night of October 25th into the morning of October 26th. It might come as a strong knowing that drops into your consciousness with such clarity that you wonder why you didn't see it before. However it arrives, you'll recognize it immediately. It won't feel like just another idea to try. It will feel like the answer. You'll experience a sense of clicking into place, of puzzle pieces suddenly forming a complete picture, of fog lifting and revelation dawning. And along with the solution itself, you'll often feel a sense of peace, of confidence, of yes, this is it, that you haven't felt while wrestling with this problem. This isn't about minor inconveniences or small decisions. This divine sign addresses the problem that's been weighing on you, the situation that's been keeping you up at night, the challenge that's made you feel helpless and trapped. It's the issue that's affected your peace, your progress, your ability to move forward. And suddenly, on October 26th, you see the way through. You see what you need to do. The confusion that's been clouding your mind dissolves, and clarity takes its place. Here's what this sign means spiritually. God is giving you divine wisdom and strategy directly from His throne room. He's downloading solutions into your consciousness that are beyond your natural ability to figure out. This sudden clarity is proof that you're not navigating your challenges alone, that infinite intelligence is available to you, that God is not just aware of your problems, He's actively involved in solving them. This divine sign is God saying, you've been stuck because you've been trying to solve this with human wisdom alone. But I'm giving you access to wisdom from heaven. I'm showing you strategies and solutions that you couldn't arrive at through logic or effort. This breakthrough in understanding is your confirmation that I'm about to show you the way forward in every area where you felt trapped. When you experience this sign, here's what you must do. First, immediately capture what you received. Write it down, record it. Don't trust that you'll remember it perfectly later, because sometimes divine downloads can fade if you don't anchor them quickly. Get the solution on paper or in a voice memo while it's fresh and clear. Second, thank God immediately for the wisdom. Say out loud, God, I recognize this clarity is coming from you. I thank you for showing me the answer. I receive this divine wisdom. I trust this solution because it came from you. Third, and this is crucial, act on what you received. Don't second guess it. Don't talk yourself out of it because it seems too simple, too bold, too different from what you've tried before, or too unconventional. Divine solutions often don't make sense to human logic. They often require faith to implement. They often look foolish to others who don't have the spiritual context you have. But if you receive this clarity on October 26th as a divine sign, you need to trust it and move on it. God doesn't give you revelation just so you can admire it. He gives you revelation so you can apply it and break through. Fourth, watch for this wisdom to apply beyond just the immediate problem. Often when God gives you a solution to one stuck area, that same wisdom or strategy can be applied to other challenges you're facing. The clarity you receive on October 26th might be a key that unlocks multiple doors, not just one. Pay attention to how this divine wisdom ripples out into other areas of your life. The fourth divine sign you might experience on October 26th is a supernatural peace that makes no logical sense given your circumstances. This is not about your external situation suddenly improving or your problems magically disappearing. This is about something shifting inside you, in your emotional and spiritual state that transforms how you experience whatever you're going through. You might wake up on October 26th and notice that the anxiety that's been your constant companion is simply gone. The worry that's been gnawing at you feels distant or irrelevant. The fear that's been controlling your thoughts and decisions has lost its power over you. You might find yourself in situations that would normally trigger stress, panic, or emotional reactivity, and instead you feel calm, centered, grounded. You might look at problems that terrified you yesterday and find that today they don't move you, not because you're in denial or numbing yourself, but because something deep in your spirit is at rest. This peace is distinctive because it's not proportional to your circumstances. If someone looked at your life from the outside, the bills you're facing, the relationship issues, the health challenges, the uncertainties, the losses, they would expect you to be anxious, stressed, worried, and maybe you were all those things just days or hours ago. But on October 26th, there's a peace that passes understanding, a calm that doesn't make sense, a settledness in your soul that feels supernatural because it is supernatural. You might find yourself thinking or even saying things like, I know everything looks uncertain, but somehow I'm okay. I know I should be worried, but I'm not. I know this situation is serious, but I have this deep sense that it's all going to work out. That's not denial. That's not toxic positivity. That's divine peace being deposited into your spirit as a sign. Here's what this sign means spiritually. God is giving you the peace that He has about your situation. He's letting you experience what He experiences when He looks at your life. Complete calm, total confidence, absolute certainty that everything is under control. This supernatural peace is one of the clearest signs that God is working behind the scenes on your behalf. When you can't see what He's doing with your natural eyes, but you can feel peace in your spirit. That's evidence that your spiritual senses are picking up on the reality that heaven sees. This peace is God saying, I've got this. I'm handling what you can't see. I'm working in ways you're not aware of. You can rest because I'm not resting. You can be at peace because I'm actively engaged in your situation. This peace you're feeling is your confirmation that breakthrough is not just possible, it's inevitable. When you experience this sign, your response should be to protect and steward this peace. Don't let people, news, social media, or negative thoughts steal it from you. When anxiety tries to creep back in, reject it. Say out loud, no, I have peace from God about this situation. I'm not going to trade this divine peace for human worry. I choose to rest in what God has given me. Thank Him for the peace. Say, God, I recognize this peace is coming from you. This is not natural peace. This is your peace. I receive it as confirmation that you're in control. I choose to let this peace guard my heart and mind. Also understand that this peace is not passivity. Having supernatural peace doesn't mean you do nothing. It means you take action from a place of rest rather than from panic. You make decisions from clarity rather than fear. You move forward with confidence rather than desperation. This peace actually empowers you to be more effective, not less, because you're not wasting energy on worry and you're hearing God's voice more clearly. The fifth divine sign you might experience on October 26th or the night leading into it is receiving a vivid dream that feels qualitatively different from ordinary dreams, or experiencing a waking vision, or having a moment of spiritual sight where you perceive something beyond the natural realm. This sign operates in the realm of the supernatural and speaks directly to your spirit rather than to your logical mind. If this sign comes as a dream, it will likely occur the night of October 25th into the morning of October 26th. These dreams have specific characteristics that distinguish them from regular dreams. They feel more real than waking life while you're in them. They carry a weight and significance that you recognize even while dreaming. When you wake up, you remember them with unusual clarity. They don't fade the way normal dreams do. The images, symbols, words, or scenes stay with you throughout the day. You might not immediately understand what they mean, but you know they mean something. There's a sense of message, of communication, of something being shown to you intentionally. The content of these dreams varies because they're personalized to your journey. You might see your future, images of where you're going, what you'll be doing, who will be with you. You might see confirmation of your calling or purpose. You might see warnings about situations or people you need to avoid. You might see encouragement about battles you're facing, showing you that you're winning even when it doesn't feel like it. You might see spiritual realities that explain your natural circumstances, like seeing spiritual warfare that's been happening around you, or seeing angels that have been protecting you, or seeing the hand of God orchestrating events in your life. If this sign comes as a waking vision, it might happen during prayer, during worship, during a quiet moment, or even in the middle of your day. Your physical eyes might remain open, but you're seeing something beyond the physical. It could be a brief flash of imagery, or it could be an extended scene that plays out like a movie. Again, you'll know it's different from imagination because of how it feels. It has a sense of otherness to it, a sense of being shown something rather than making something up. Some of you might experience what could be called spiritual sight moments, where you suddenly perceive the spiritual dimension that's always there but usually invisible. You might sense angelic presence. You might perceive spiritual atmospheres over places or people. You might see auras or light around individuals who carry God's presence. You might suddenly understand spiritual truths with a clarity that didn't come from study, but from direct revelation. Here's what this sign means spiritually. The veil between the natural and supernatural is thinning for you. On October 26th, God is opening your spiritual eyes and ears because He wants to communicate with you directly, beyond words, beyond logic, through the language of imagery and vision. This is one of the most intimate forms of divine communication because it bypasses your mental filters and speaks directly to your spirit. When you receive prophetic dreams or visions, it's God saying, "I'm showing you things to come. I'm revealing mysteries to you. I'm giving you insight into the unseen realm. I trust you with this level of communication." You're being upgraded in your spiritual senses because you're going to need heightened discernment and revelation for this next season. When you experience this sign, here's what you must do. First, record everything you saw or experienced in as much detail as possible while it's fresh. Write down or voice record the dream, vision, or spiritual experience. Include how it made you feel. Any words you heard, any symbols or colors that stood out, any people or places you recognized, any emotions that came with it. Don't try to interpret it immediately, just capture it. Second, thank God for speaking to you in this way. Say, "God, thank you for opening my spiritual eyes. Thank you for this vision dream. I receive it as divine communication. Give me the wisdom to understand what you're showing me." Third, ask the Holy Spirit for interpretation. Don't rush to Google or dream dictionaries. Go to God first and say, "What does this mean? What are you saying to me through this?" Sometimes He'll give you the interpretation immediately. Sometimes He'll unfold it gradually. Sometimes He'll bring someone across your path who has the gift of interpretation. Be patient with the process. Fourth, share it carefully. Not everyone needs to hear about your prophetic dreams or visions. Some people will mock what they don't understand. Share it with spiritually mature people who honor the prophetic and can help you steward what you've received. Finally, watch for the dream or vision to begin manifesting. Often, these spiritual experiences on October 26th are previews of what's coming in your physical reality. Pay attention in the weeks and months ahead to see elements of what you saw beginning to show up in your actual life. When they do, you'll have confirmation that what you experienced was truly from God. Now, here's something powerful that some of you need to understand. While experiencing even one of these 5 divine signs on October 26th is significant confirmation that God is moving in your life, some of you are going to experience multiple signs, maybe 2 or 3, maybe even 4 or all 5. When multiple signs converge on the same day, the message becomes amplified. It's like God is speaking to you in stereo, in surround sound, making absolutely certain that you cannot miss what He's saying. If you experience 2 or more of these signs on October 26th, it means you're in a particularly intense season of divine activity. God is not being subtle with you. He's making His presence and His promises unmistakably clear. This convergence of signs is often given to people who are about to step into major assignments, people who are on the edge of significant breakthrough, people who have been tested to extraordinary degrees and are about to be promoted to extraordinary levels of blessing and responsibility. When you see multiple signs converging, your faith response should intensify proportionally. If one sign calls for gratitude and acknowledgement, multiple signs call for celebration and bold declaration. This is the moment to speak out loud what God is showing you. Declare over your life, "God is moving on my behalf. God is moving on my behalf. My breakthrough is here. My season is changing. Everything I've been believing for is manifesting right now. I receive all that heaven is releasing to me. This is also the time to prepare practically for what's coming." If God is giving you this level of confirmation, He's also preparing to hand you something significant. Make sure you're ready. Clear out the old to make room for the new. Deal with any unforgiveness, bitterness, or unbelief that might block what's trying to come through. Get your spiritual house in order. Align your life with God's principles. Position yourself to be able to carry the blessing that's about to be entrusted to you. The season of waiting is ending, and the season of manifestation is beginning. Be ready to receive what God has prepared for you.